Space Invaders by Excalibur Electronics, released in 2005. This was loosely based on the original Coleco mini-cades. Looks pretty much exactly the same, but there is a little bit of a difference. As you can see, the original Coleco mini-cade was a little bit larger than the Excalibur one. But overall, it's still a really nice design. Now let's take a look at the control panel. We have our joystick here for right and left movement. We have our on-off button, the mute, pause, and our start and fire button. Now let's take a look at some of the gameplay. As you see, when you hit start, it shows you how many bases you have left at the bottom of the screen. Starting on level 1 here. Pretty basic gameplay. Now, you just can't simply hold the joystick and the base will keep moving. You got to release the joystick back to neutral and push it again right or left to get the base to move. I find that a little bit annoying. I would much rather it just keep moving as you hold the joystick, like the arcade game did. Basically, it had 2 buttons, though, not a joystick, but that's just minor. Now, the Invaders are really nicely drawn on here. And it does have a really nice backlit LCD screen. That's a big plus. It would have been cool if this would have been a VFD game, but this is pretty close to a VFD simulation. But doesn't look exactly like a VFD game. You'll also notice that the screen is divided up into 2 halves. We have a left and a right. In the upper left-hand corner, you'll see a little box that says L or R. That tells you what screen you're on. So right now I'm on the left-hand side of the screen. So I go all the way to the right. You'll see that L turn over to an R, and I'll move over to the second half of the screen. So in effect, this gives you like 6 bases to hide behind instead of 3 or 4 like the original game had. Ooh, Mr. UFO. Get him. Get UFO. Oh, missed him. Sound effects are so-so. They're okay. It's a little bit tinny to me. It doesn't really sound like Space Invaders too much. You'll also notice on these lower levels, the Invaders never really do advance down towards you. They just keep going back and forth, back and forth. Now, as you get higher up in the levels of the gameplay, they'll start to advance down towards you, just like in the arcade game. You also see each one of your bunkers can take about 5 shots before they totally disappear. Now, something I noticed about this game is the comparison to the early release of the Space Invaders tabletop to a later release. Now, the one I'm playing here, I think, was made at a much later date than 2005, mainly because it has different graphics for the Invaders and everything. If you look at the first release, which I'm playing here, you'll see the Invaders are a little bit different looking. Kind of looks like the ones from their handheld units. So they must have made a design change sometime from 2005 until when they quit making these. Pretty neat game. Overall, I really like this little mini arcade by Excalibur Electronics. Granted, it's not like the old Coleco mini-cades, which I absolutely love, and it's not VFD based, but it's the closest thing you can get to one of the Coleco mini arcades in today's technology, without actually making a VFD screen, which would be pretty expensive nowadays. So I'm pretty happy with this little arcade machine. If you happen to find one of these at a flea market at a reasonable price, it may be worth picking up for your collection. They are pretty neat. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.